Hey, I'm Matt with Meat Church. Let's make the juiciest, sauciest pulled barbecue chicken you've ever had. Well, it's National Barbecue Month. It's always barbecue month at Meat Church, but May is National Barbecue Month. So, of course, we are hitting you with weekly videos that are in what we call our famous Hardcore Barbecue series. We even trademarked Hardcore Barbecue years ago. Today is actually episode 4 of season 6. We've got like 40 videos in this playlist, and it's all things classic barbecue, which is why we call it Hardcore Barbecue. So all things brisket ribs, chicken, pork belly, you name it, it's all in there. So be sure to check those videos out if you're new to the channel. I'm very excited today. We're making what I'm gonna call a classic smoked pulled chicken. We're gonna use some of my years old techniques to make this chicken super juicy by brining it, cooking it in some butter, and then lastly, we're hitting it with a brand new secret weapon. Proud to announce today, just came out, our second barbecue sauce. You guys loved Holy Cola to the point we came out with an additional sauce, Sizzlin Salvation. It's a sweet heat. Actually, the first sauce I came up with Traeger when we developed Holy Cola. Not only that, we're also launching our second pellet, pecan and cherry mix. Very excited. You guys have just been amazing in your support of the pellets we've had out. If you don't know this, or if you're new to Meat Church, Traeger put out a limited edition pellet with us, and it did so well, they decided to make it full time, and we added a second flavor. So pecan and cherry, a little lighter smoke than our previous pellet. Cherry also gives a beautiful flavor, so I think that you guys are gonna love it. So super excited that we just launched those. You can get those wherever you get your Meat Church products. So let me go grab this chicken and we can jump in. So we've got a brined chicken here in a food safe container. I'm actually gonna throw an apron on. I wanna mess my hoodie up. Get that poultry juice everywhere. Custom Headley and Bennett apron, I've had for years. It's got this in a couple colors if you want it, meatchurch.com. So anytime I'm cooking poultry, I like to brine it. I mean, you can add extra moisture, why not? I'm gonna show you 3 different things today to make sure this chicken is super juicy. Brine, butter, and pulling it at a little secret tip temperature when we're done. So let's talk about our brine. Our bird baptism brine. You can use our brine, you can make your own brine, whatever you wanna do. But it's very simple. If, Thanksgiving, you guys are using a whole packet of this on a turkey, you only need like a cup of it. So you're gonna pour a cup in, some water in a pot, you're gonna heat it up. So you're basically trying to melt all the sugars, but then you need to completely cool that brine off. You don't wanna put poultry in hot brine. So you can pour the brine into a bucket, add some ice to it, bring the temperature down. You wanna add enough water to submerge your chicken. I need to rinse this off and pat it dry, so we're gonna head over to the sink for that. I love this because it's barbecue on a budget. This is a 5-pound chicken that'll cook in 90 minutes, and it was less than 10 bucks, so it's a win. So we've rinsed it off and we've patted it dry. You know that I like to spatchcock, which means remove the backbone, lay it flat. I'm actually gonna cut it in half, old competition style. Got some kitchen shears here. You could also use a knife. So we're gonna just cut alongside the backbone on both sides. Cut all the way through and then just repeat that right here on the other side. Like I said, you can use a chef knife. It's a little more stable to hold it like this, so I prefer it this way personally, but do what you want or use whatever tools you got. But I love kitchen shears like this that are dedicated to food because you can pull them apart, put them in your dishwasher. Some people will stop here, you can flip the chicken over. Same thing happens with a turkey. You can cook it just like that, but I'm actually gonna cut this in half. But even if I wasn't cutting in half, take a chef knife and place it right here, make a little incision, and there's a natural stopping point, like you can't cut any further. We'll crack this open. I love this additional step. We're trying to expose this keel bone right here, which is really easy on chicken, a little more difficult on turkey, but I think worth it. So just use your hands to expose it completely. So once you've used your hands to expose it completely, you just put some pressure here, hold on to it, and you can just pull this right out. Boom, nice clean pull. Now, why'd I do that? Because now it lays even more flat. You can cook it like this, and when you're done cooking, you can easily just carve it in half. But what I'm gonna do today, because the technique I'm gonna show you, I'm actually gonna cut it in half now. All this is optional. You could just season the chicken and cook it whole. All this technique I've showed you, you didn't have to do any of this to this point, if you don't want to. So let's talk about seasoning. Season with whatever you want. If you're a Meat Church person, you know that we have a lot of options that are great on chicken. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna use our Texas sugar. Despite the name, not our sweetest rub, just really cool name that I always liked. There's a restaurant locally called Mexican Sugar, stuck in my head, so I wanted to name a seasoned Texan sugar. But this is a little more Southwestern, so it's got a little more savory than it has sweet notes. It is a sweet barbecue rub, don't get me wrong. But anyway, we're gonna go with this today. What I wanna do with pulled chicken, the most important part of this is gonna be the meat, not the skin, because the sandwiches we're making, even though typically I say chicken skin might be the most delicious bite of food in the world. I'm gonna take my hands and I'm actually gonna work underneath the skin. You could completely remove it if you want, but just using your fingers, just kind of separate that little membrane in between the skin and the skin here and the meat, and then season the meat. So primarily this is what I'm seasoning. When I pull the little jacket back over, I'm gonna lightly season the top because I don't wanna over season it. And this works out good cutting it in half because you could basically remove everything that you want to really expose the meat here. All right, so let's get to seasoning. All right, using our video bottle here, because I've got chicken hands, makes it easier to work with. There you go. So kind of like a moderate application. And why is that important? Because of what I just said. When I go to pull this back over, I don't want to double season. You don't want it to be too salty. You can always add salts. You can't take it away. And what I typically will do when I'm cooking is I'll pin that skin. Now that I've separated the skin, it's likely to come back up during cooking. This is not necessary, but you can take some toothpicks and you can kind of pin underneath to just kind of hold it in place so it looks pretty. This kind of goes back to my way old competition days. Chicken was definitely my best category. And cooking techniques have evolved and changed a lot since then on how you cook competition chicken, but this takes us back to a technique that worked. All right, so we've seasoned the meat. I'm gonna lightly season the skin for some beautiful color and taste, and I'm gonna do that with the other chicken. Got the chickens all ready to go. We're actually gonna cook these in a pan today, which is gonna lead me to my explanation of the second step to make this chicken super juicy, and that is to cook it in a little bit of butter. All right, got them in the pan there. Doesn't have to be too perfect. And then we're gonna cook this in a little bit of butter. So when it comes to butter, something like this, when I'm cooking a meat in it, I want a really good butter. So I like a European style butter. I like Flugra, Kerrygold, something like that. I'll tell you, a lot of competition guys, they're still just coating their ribs in Parquet, which you've seen us do that on a lot of kind of classic barbecue videos. So definitely use whatever you want. But I'm gonna put a stick of butter in here. Warning, this is one of those ain't here to help you lose weight videos, here to help you enjoy life. So just cut this up into some pats, put it all around. Okay, let's talk about the cook. We are ready to roll with this chicken. So we've got a Traeger Woodridge set up 275 degrees. We're using our brand new Meat Church pellet. I told you, pecan and cherry blend. So let's talk about your options when it comes to cooking this. I'm cooking at 275, which is a temperature that I like to cook chicken at. But this is smoked chicken. It's gonna take on a fair amount of smoke flavor, even at 275, but 275 is not the magic of this recipe. You could be smoking on any type of cooker that you like, anywhere from 225 to, if you're short on time, go over 300. So I like 275, kind of what I call a middle of the road temperature. And the goal here is to get this chicken to cooked until it's done. Everyone says poultry's done at 165. We're actually pulling this at 155. As long as chicken sits at 155 for at least 1 minute, it's actually safe to eat. There are people that do things like pull chicken at 145 as long as it's been there for 10 minutes, but safely say, thickest part of the meat, 155 for at least a minute, you're good to go. So that's the goal. That'll be the third step to get this thing as juicy as you want it to be. So in we go. You don't have to do anything with this along the way, but sometimes I like to stick my little basting brush in and take that melted butter and drizzle across the top, to add a little richness to it. Other than that, we'll see you at 155. been 90 minutes. The chicken's at 155. So I'm gonna put some insulated gloves on and we're just gonna roll into this. I'm starving. All I did was baste, told you that. Looks super beautiful, nice and golden. So we're gonna bring just one of these out for now. And it's hot. So normally I advocate letting your meat rest so that the juices can redistribute. In this case, we're pulling it and we're gonna be using some of the juices, so it doesn't matter. But first things first, you wanna pull your toothpicks out, or somebody's gonna have a bad day. Let's bring our bowl in. So we're gonna just pull all the chicken off the bone, and then we're gonna add a few secret ingredients to it. That looks good. Look at that. Whew. I might just drop that in a fryer, eat it like that. Oh yeah. Definitely a dark meat guy, but look at that. Look at all the juice inside of that. Just insanity. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the chicken off the bone and you're gonna shred it kind of to your desired consistency. So this is just like pulled pork. You start to pull it, you kind of, get the meat off like this, and then you just continue to pull it to get it in the sizes that you want. So there's really like nothing too big in there, but make sure you get all that juice in there because we're gonna want that for our sandwiches. All right, now we're getting into that white meat. Whew. I mean, look at this. It is just sopping wet. I'm honestly telling you, like, already loaded with flavor before we do anything else to it. So we've got all the chicken pulled, and I know I keep saying it's already very juicy from that brine, but we're gonna take some of this delicious juice, a lot of this butter, we're gonna pour some of that back into it. You could put this through a fat separator if you want. We're just kind of going classic here. Mix it up, now it is like really wet. I always kind of taste things along the way to see how I feel about it, especially when they're like that. I'll tell you how I feel about it. Borderline spiritual. Just like with pulled pork, I always say add in raw seasoning, not a whole lot. I mean, it's to taste, like you just tasted it, and it's got amazing flavor. I would consider this already like feels very Southwestern. All right, so we're gonna mix that up a little bit, give it a little taste, see how you feel about it. A little more. The Texas sugar is such a unique flavor. If you've never tried it, really, really, really good on chicken. Now we're gonna hit it with the latest secret weapon, the Sizzlin Salvation, or Sweet Heat. Same thing, mix it up, taste it, get it where you want it. I mean, listen to that. Oh yeah, juicy. Sounds like you're just walking through wet concrete. All right, try that. Man, that is insanity. So good. We're gonna finish this video because I'm starving. I'm not waiting on anybody to show up and do anything else. So let's talk about the buns. Instead of being the guy that just says throw it on a bun and go, think about what you want your eating experience to be from here. We're using a standard, just kind of white bun that we've actually toasted. The reason for that is, I toast and cool off so that way this acts as a barrier for a lot of liquid. So we're making this really wet. We're gonna sauce it some more. Now the bun won't be soggy. But maybe you want like a King's Hawaiian, a sweeter bread, not toasted, where it's really gonna get squishy and kind of become one with the meat. That's good too. I would love sitting there and just crush sandwiches like that. So we're going on a slider today. We're gonna kind of pack it tall. You can do this on big buns, do it on whatever you want. It'd be great on Texas toast. Look at that. Ooh, piled high. I've decided that I'm going even saucier. We're gonna go right over the bowl. Ooh, baby. That is not going to suck. Whew. Son. Captain Obvious, that is crazy juicy. brine, butter, pulling it at 155, adding the butter back in, saucing it on top. That is heaven. This was less than 10 bucks. You're feeding your whole family with that. This is a great dinner. It was 90 minutes to cook it, plus the brine time if you choose to do that. This is gonna be a king in the hardcore barbecue playlist. So we'll definitely put a card in the video so you guys can get there. If you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe. We do these like no talking commercial how-to videos. We also recently launched our podcast. So we've got episode 1 out. It's been super fun. They're on this same YouTube channel, but they're also on all audio channels. So wherever you go to get your podcast and download to be on the go, like Spotify, Apple, whatever, you can go get them there as well. We've got a lot of really cool guests lined up. My brother came on episode 1 and we talked about the origins of Meat Church so everybody could learn our history if you didn't know. But then episode 2, Kevin Van Dam of the fishing world came by for a podcast, and then we cooked our crust burgers together, which you guys murdered on YouTube in our last episode. And then I'm gonna announce right now, the next episode is Cleto, the lead singer of Flatland Calvary. He came and did a podcast, and we made his mom's chili verde, which was unbelievable. So that'll be coming out next week. If you want me to answer questions in the podcast, you can go to the audio podcast up top. You could click the link to text me a question. The link's also on the YouTube version, but send in your questions. I'll be answering those, which will be a ton of fun. But I really appreciate you guys being here, listening to my hot air. Like and subscribe. See you guys next week.